So I'll do some quick housekeeping before we get into the title of this talk. I actually don't want you to take notes because you're all going to get the recording of this after the event, and we're going to go thick and fast. So just watch the screen and watch me, and then any questions, we'll do a Q&A afterwards, and you can speak to me after the event as well. Some quick introduction, who I am. I'm a copywriter and self-publisher. I was the first person in my self-publishing blueprint to hit $10,000 in a month. Did that back in January of 2018. I'm the creator of Double Your Kindle Sales, 1-hour book descriptions, and backdoor keyword research video courses, and I had the privilege of speaking at last year's event. Apparently I did an okay job because I got invited back this year. One quick disclaimer. A lot of this information has been used for less than pure purposes by evil people and organizations. Guys like Bernie Madoff, who ran the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. Scientology use a lot of what I'm going to talk. There's no Scientologists here, right? Okay, D1, I already knew that. Guys like Victor Lustig, who sold the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, this stuff is really powerful and really persuasive. But the most important thing is it's far more powerful when used for good rather than evil. So use it to sell ethical and legal products and services. Without further ado, secret number one. Your customers love context. What is this similar to? When you're presented with a new idea or new information, it's very hard for you to process it without relating it to things you already know. Because otherwise, you engage your logical, linear brain. And that's the brain that doesn't make buying decisions. If you're explaining your product to someone without giving them a relatable thing, you're screwed. Put A and B together to create C. That's how you get your product instantly understood. You've only got one chance to make a first impression, so you need to get this right. A and B are two existing ideas that your customers already know. And then C is your new product or service. Perfect example of this, I got a Facebook ad a few weeks ago for a wine subscription service. Now, I've never had a wine subscription service in my life. I don't really know how it works. But in 6 words, I instantly understood what it is. Because they said, oh, it's like Match.com, but for wine. I know what Match.com is. It's the largest dating site in the world. I know what wine is. So now I understand how this wine subscription service works. Same thing for this event. You could say it's the Tony Robbins of self-publishing events. You could say that to any person on the street who had no idea what the Cancun Mastermind was, then they'd sort of get an idea. Does anyone know what autophagy is? Yeah? Hands up if you know. Okay, a few of you. It's a great keyword, by the way. See, we are giving out keywords today. In just 6 words, you can explain this very complicated scientific idea to anyone, and they know what it's about. It's just the keto diet combined with intermittent fasting. That's how you get your customers to instantly understand what you're selling. Another great example of this is from Mind Valley. They're a big personal development e-learning platform. 7 words. You now instantly understand what it is. It's like Netflix, but for personal growth. And this is one of my favorite examples of all. Chicken soup for the soul. A and B together to create C. This has sold more than 8 million copies because it's got a really catchy title. Secret number 2. Your customers love shortcuts. All commerce fundamentally exists for 3 reasons. Anything you sell can be boiled down to these 3. The first is personal safety and security. The second is convenience or a shortcut. And the third I'll tell you about later on in this talk. D1 mentioned earlier that what we're selling is the gap between where people are and where they want to be. What he didn't say is that most people believe that just one thing can close that gap. One secret from the wizard or the guru will finally set them on the path to weight loss, financial freedom, inner peace, whatever it is. And that's why sales is a process where short-sightedness and emotion often trumps logic and reason. Who here has ever bought something because they were convinced by the sales message and the product was pretty shit? Oh, everyone. This is why. How modern Chinese medicine helps burn disease out of your body lying flat on your back using nothing more than the palm of your hand. This is a self-published book. It sold 3 million copies. That headline ran for 20 years. Now, you know something's good if it runs for 20 years. A little bit more modern. This is the secret $50 marijuana stock blueprint. How you can turn a single $50 bill, just one of them, into a massive fortune. Agora Financial are behind this. They're the biggest financial publisher in the world. They did 1.5 billion in sales last year. And who says you can't make money with nonfiction? So let's distill it down to some more practical stuff. This is called the reality versus insanity matrix. This is something I made up. On the left of the screen, we have the complete boring reality of the situation, the thing that people already know is true. And on the right, we have the complete insane idea that no one would ever believe. So the first example is weight loss. The boring reality of weight loss is that you have to eat less and move more. No one has ever bought a weight loss product with that appeal. They already know it's true. They would be doing it anyway. There has to be a secret. On the right, we have the magic diet pill. You pop it in your mouth, 30 pounds in a day. No one believes that. It used to work in the 50s. It doesn't anymore. We have something called the FCC now. Oh, damn it. In the middle, though, where the green arrow is, that's the magic zone. You present an idea that is enough of a shortcut that it gets that emotional brain excited, but it's believable enough that the money still changes hands. And that's why the keto diet is so great from a marketing standpoint. Because you can say to people, oh, hey, I've got this diet, and you don't eat a few foods, but you can eat as much as you want of all the good foods like steak and butter, and then you can lose 15 pounds in a month without exercise. That's why it's probably the most popular diet in the world right now. The dating niche. The boring logical reality of the dating niche is that you have to approach 500 women, get rejected, and learn from your mistakes, but that's a terrible appeal. No one would buy your dating book with that in the sales message. On the right, we have the magic pheromone spray that makes you irresistible to women. I bought this from eBay when I was 15, and I'm still here. So. In the middle, though, we have the 3 best things to write on your dating profile that get all the clicks and women messaging you. That's believable. People think it's a shortcut. They will go for it. That's how you use this in your marketing. Secret number 3. Your customers want to be part of a special club. We, as humans, are a very social creature. We're a social species. For 10,000 years, we've been hanging out in groups. That's how we survived. 10,000 years ago, if you left the group, you had no food and no fire, and you died. Today, the consequences are a little bit less severe, but everyone still loves groups and clubs. We love to belong to clubs because then we're surrounded by people who we believe share similar values to ourselves. All clubs have certain things in common to make them a club. They have exclusivity. You're either in or you're out. They have leaders and hierarchies. They have secret languages. People in different niches talk in different ways. They have rituals, things they do at certain times. They have uniforms. People in clubs dress alike. And also, they have penalties for leaving the club. Now, this is why these brands on the screen right here, SoulCycle, Slack, Venmo, CrossFit, have been able to get billion-dollar valuations in just a few years. Who here has Venmo? Hands up. Quite a few people. If you don't know what Venmo is, it's sort of like PayPal, but you can use it to send money to people on your phone. Who here has ever tried to Venmo someone money who doesn't have Venmo? How annoying was that? Really annoying. They weren't in the club, therefore their life was worse off. Therefore, being in the club is great, and that's why these brands have been able to blow up. Facebook is the perfect example of this, because your life is now more difficult if you don't have Facebook. That's why everyone is on the platform. That's why it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So you need to create your own club, your own Facebook on a much smaller scale. The first thing you need to do is be the leader, because your job as an entrepreneur is to take responsibility from your customers. That's why you get paid. People don't want to lead because that involves responsibility. Responsibility makes your life more difficult. It's your job to take the responsibility. I cannot believe we've been here for 4 hours and no one has mentioned this yet. Make the club yours. Amazon owns your customers. If you have an email list, now you own your customers. If you have a Facebook group, you're 50% there, because Facebook still owns a lot of those people, but you can still communicate with them in a way where Amazon doesn't own it. So give people benefits for joining. Pre-launch bonuses for people on your email list or in your Facebook group. Extra bonuses just for being there. Make being part of the club a genuine improvement on their life. Anyone who has already bought one of my products gets a massive discount on the next one. That's a huge benefit to being in my club. Words like VIP, platinum, behind closed doors, these words convey exclusivity. People love exclusivity. People love building up their status. Give people an identity. People love saying, I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a funnel hacker. I'm a lit fammer. That's why people sell those free t-shirts. Give away those t-shirts, because then your customers become walking billboards and ambassadors for your brand. Now, when I said that, I saw some eyes roll in the audience saying, no one likes those free t-shirts, no one wears them. Well, not no one. Some people love free t-shirts. Which leads me on to secret number 4. Your customers want to be entertained. If you focus on the screen right now, 10 hours of paint drying is apparently 500 times better than one of my videos. I had to get it back. We're even now. D1 said that entertainment is why people search for things, but it's also why people buy things. If you want to find someone's true priorities in life, the worst thing you can do is ask them what their priorities in life are, because they'll lie to you. They'll give you the answer they're supposed to give you. Instead, watch where they spend their time. More importantly, though, watch where they spend their money. And we as a society pay our entertainers far more than we do our teachers. The average high school teacher salary is $62,000 a year. The average NBA player makes $6.4 million. People spend far more on entertainment than they do on the practical stuff. Outside of oil and gas, the biggest companies in the world are entertainment-focused companies. Disney directly provide entertainment. Companies like Apple and Facebook facilitate entertainment. We use their products to entertain ourselves. Even in what we do, the entrepreneurship thing, the most popular entrepreneurs are not the best ones. Otherwise, we'd all be watching Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett's YouTube channels. But we don't. We're watching Cardone, we're watching Dan Lok, Gary Vee, Russell Brunson, because they entertain first and then they teach second. Does anyone know what these 4 books have in common, apart from the fact they're all bestsellers? They are all full of stories. Stories are the oldest form of entertainment that we have. Non-fiction information doesn't have to be boring. You can make it enjoyable to read, and stories are the easiest way of doing that. Who's read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? How boring would that book have been if there were no stories? It would have just been a finance lecture you'd find at a university. You can't sell that. Infotainment, or soft teaching as some people call it, where you simultaneously give value and entertain. An easy way to get better organic reviews for your books is to tell stories. Use historical examples. Controversy, I'll be talking more about this in the next point, but controversy is inherently entertaining. Take sides, pick fights with the common enemy. Every single niche has a common enemy. You need to know who yours is. Leverage higher status people. Celebrities in any niche, we are so attracted to that. We always want to know what the celebrities are doing. And dramatic demonstration. This is where you paint a very, very vivid picture of what happens when it all goes right, but even more powerfully, what happens when it all goes wrong. One of the best copywriting resources you can use is watch episodes of Black Mirror, because this is the best dramatic demonstration you will see. This is the best testimonial I've ever received. It's 11 words long, but it's very, very dramatic. Thanks, Gary. Secret number 5, your customers love their own opinion. Who agrees? Yeah? Who's a 1338 fan? My team is better than your team. We all have a few select views that we devoutly believe to be true. This holds a big part of our identity and worldview. Then we actively seek content which reinforces those views. That's called confirmation bias. We love to just get told that we're right 24/7. We see this in politics. There's a reason that Trump is loved by people and also hated by people. We see this in sports. We see this in religion. We even see this in Amazon reviews. I did a quick experiment. I went on a bunch of non-fiction bestsellers, the ones with like more than 1,000 reviews. 7% of those reviews were 1 stars. Now, why is that? It's that those 7% of people had an opposite worldview to the author. Who here has ever received a 1-star review on one of their books? Really? Okay. Some people are lying, some people just haven't published yet, that's why. Who here has ever received a 1-star review that wasn't really about the book? It was more just a weird rant from the person who left it. It's just because they had the opposite worldview to you. So what you want to do is convince your customers that you have the same worldview as them. We love to buy from people who we believe are like ourselves. It's the same reason we join clubs. If you're likable, then people will buy more from you. Now, this is a great example in copywriting. This is by Mike Matthews. He's a 7-figure fitness author. And what he does here, with the red on the screen, the you don't need tos, he literally says to his audience, these 5 things are complete myths. And our common enemy is trying to BS you to believing that they're true. They're not true, and here's what's true instead. What he's doing there, he's just reconfirming what people already believe. He's building up that likability, he's building up that credibility, and that's why he makes a lot of money on Amazon. If you can remember just one thing from this talk, because I'm aware there's a lot of information coming thick and fast, it's this sentence at the top. Indifference is the death of persuasion. I'll say that again. Amen. Indifference is the death of persuasion. You want your customers to either love you or hate you. There's a reason that content platforms reward polarizing content. Facebook will show your ad to more people if it has negative comments on, because they know it's more engaging if there's a back and forth discussion. Same with YouTube. YouTube will promote your video more in the search algorithm if it has downvotes and negative comments on. You want to build that love-hate relationship. Your customers love you, and the people with the opposite worldview hate you. The easiest way to do this is find the common enemy. Every single niche has one. Unite your people against the common enemy. In the natural health, alternative health niche, the FDA is the common enemy. If you're a vegan, meat eaters and oil companies are your common enemy. If you sell online courses or digital training programs, the traditional education system is your common enemy. Use that in your marketing, paint a target on them, and go after them. Your customers will love you for it, and they will reward you by giving you their money. Secret number 6. Your customers love increasing their status. This is the 3rd reason why people buy anything, to increase their status. It's not just for luxury products. We make status buying decisions every single day. This is why celebrity endorsements and influencer marketing are so huge, because celebrities and influencers have higher perceived status than the common man. Everyone has their thing. A thing that they'll spend a lot of money on, where everyone else will go, can you believe he spends that much money on that thing? We see it with kitchen appliances, we see it with cars, we see it with golf, we see it with coffee, we see it with business and self-improvement. For a lot of you in the room today, business and self-improvement is your thing. Did anyone tell a family member or a friend they were coming to this event and got a really weird look? Yep, a few people. It's because it's your thing, it's not their thing. They'll never understand it. And that's fine. This is the same product. It's coffee, but it's three very, very different status stories being told. Folgers, the people who drink that, they're telling themselves, I'm frugal, I'm smart because I don't spend a lot of money on coffee, Starbucks is a waste of money, I would never be caught dead in there. The Starbucks people, they're saying, yeah, I'm cool, I can afford Starbucks. Look at my Starbucks cup, it's got a Starbucks logo on. They're wearing a Starbucks t-shirt. That thing on the right is a Jura J7 coffee machine. It's very, very expensive. It's about $2,500. The people who buy those, coffee's their thing. They say, I understand coffee. I wouldn't be caught dead drinking that burnt bean water they sell in Starbucks. You want to become the Jura J7 of your niche. Because there's always a small group of people who buy absolutely everything you have to offer. These are going to be your best customers. How do you find them out? Well, the easiest way to do that is literally to say to them, hey, I have more stuff to sell. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I want that. That's why having an email list or a Facebook group is absolutely vital, because you can't identify these people on Amazon. You have to get them into your ecosystem. Now, this is really cool. It's called the Rule of 4. And it's a quarter of the people who buy anything will also buy something in that niche or in that category, which is 4 times the price. Now, here's the fun part. Quick maths. 100 people buy your $15 book. A quarter of those 100 people, so 25, will also buy a $60 product. A quarter of those people will buy something 4 times that price. That's $240. A quarter of those people will just say 1 because it's easy, will buy something for 4 times that price. That's $960. If you do this right, you can literally make 4 times the amount of money from the same number of customers. And if you are paying for traffic, which every business who wants to make a lot of money should eventually do, you spend a lot of money to acquire that customer the first time, doesn't cost you anything to sell them more stuff. An email autoresponder subscription is about $29 a month, or $49 if you've got a lot of customers. Send them an offer, you'll make a lot more money. The money is being spent somewhere, it might as well be with you. Because if they don't spend it with you, they'll spend it with someone else. And if you paid for the traffic, you paid to make someone else a sale. And that is the 6 secrets. Wait a second. There were supposed to be 7. Now I have a little confession to make. There are 7 secrets. But the 7th secret is maybe the most important one. Everyone needs to finish what they started. If I promised you 7 secrets and I only gave you 6, I'd have under-delivered. I would have delivered a bad experience to you. And this is probably the biggest mistake that anyone makes in marketing, is that they under-deliver, either by accident or on purpose. We have an inherent need as humans to finish what we started. There's a psychological term called the Zeigarnik effect. We remember unfinished tasks more than we remember finished ones. When we don't get closure, our need for it skyrockets. This is why cliffhangers are so powerful in TVs, books, and movies. This is why open loops, that's where you start an idea and instead of finishing it, you move on to something else. Super powerful in marketing. And that's why micro commitments are a fundamental principle of e-commerce and online selling. Does anyone know which platform was used to make this picture? ClickFunnels. They are the king of micro commitments. Where are the micro commitments on this picture? 50% complete. There's another one. Can you spot it? Yeah? Almost there. 2 out of 2 for 1. You win 100 urban coin. So the micro commitments here, 50% and almost there. You go to the landing page for this, whatever it is, Charlie's exclusive report. And Charlie says to you, do you want this report? And the button says, yes, send me the report. You click on it, then this screen comes up. Just give us your email address and then we're good. We'll send it to you. way more powerful than a landing page coming up and saying, hey, I have this report. Give me your name, your email address, your phone number, your firstborn child, credit card. Because they've presented it in this way and because they framed it as, oh, you've already done 50%, good job, buddy. Just one more step and then you'll get your free report. It makes people finish. It makes people take action. Grammarly does this as well, but they do 2 out of 3. Who here has Grammarly? It's pretty cool, right? Who here has ever thought, God, I really want to install that on my browser? No. But you get an email and this comes up. It says, oh, you're 2/3 of the way there. Almost there. Just install it and then you're complete. Just makes you want to do it because you don't want to be the person who doesn't finish things. Makes you feel bad. Using micro-commitments in your business. Easy way in your books. In chapter 1, tell them about a bonus at the end. Now they want to keep reading. You can do it as well. You can say, okay, I'll tell you more about this in chapter 3. If anyone's read Jordan Belfort's Straight Line Selling book, he does this like 20 times in the book. It's genius. In an email sequence, bring up an idea, but don't finish it in that email. Great way to do that is you say you have a list, 3 best ways to make money on the internet. You give them 1 and 2 in the first email, and then you say, oh, I'm out of time. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's email will get a much higher open rate because they want to know. They want to finish it. This is why one-click upsells are so powerful because people have already taken all this time to fill out all their details. They've pressed buy, which is the most energy they can expend. Now a little box comes up and says, hey guys, got an offer for you. It's only $97, usually $1,000. Just click this button. How low energy is that? You're like, okay, yeah, why not? You didn't even know what it was. Seriously, who here has bought a one-click upsell without even really knowing what they're buying? Yep. Yeah, a few more liars in the room, but okay. And the path of least resistance. There's a reason that Amazon uses one of these. Which one does Amazon use? For new customers, they use add to cart. And there's a reason for that. Add to cart is much less of a commitment than buy now. Buy now is a big energy expending process where you put in your shipping details, you put in your credit card info, you are aware that you're spending money. But add to cart, that's very easy. Yeah, just put it there, worry about it later. Then what happens later? You go to your shopping cart and you're like, this 50% bar is coming up in your head now. You're like, oh, I'm halfway there, might as well go for it. And then you buy it. And that's why Amazon's a $1 trillion company, among other things. The reversal of this law, what I talked about at the start, was you can never promise something you can't deliver. That's the absolute worst thing you can do. You can actually set expectations very low in your marketing, and people only expect a low-quality delivery. Ideally, you should over-deliver on everything. But what you can't do is set expectations very high and then under-deliver. Oh, and there's a bonus. Isn't that fun? So I have a video course. It's called 1 Hour Book Descriptions. It currently sells for $297. But as a gesture of my gratitude for you all being in the room today, you get it for free. Like no shenanigans, no hoops to jump through. It's yours for life. You what? That's afterwards. That's the part we don't tell them. Okay. But seriously, no shenanigans. It's yours forever. I'll just enroll you on Teachable, and you have it forever. For those who, thank you. For those of you who already have the course, there's something else for you as well. Just come and see me after the event, and we'll sort you out. Don't worry, I've got you covered. We'll do the Q&A first, because I've got one final thing after the Q&A. Q&A. My self-publishing blueprint.
Okay, I have one specific question for you. You said go after them in one of your slides, like when you're emailing, like go after the people, your haters.
The common enemy?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you do that? Like, what do you mean by that?
So you find out the people whose worldview you share, they're always going to have someone that they're against. It's either a person or a movement or a thing. You just need to find out what it is. And so if you do email marketing, for example, you send emails attacking the common enemy. So a great example of that would be if you're in the weight loss niche and alternative health, you can send out an email saying, hey, I read this news article and the FDA is banning all these things. That's terrible, don't you think? Because what that does is it makes the customers think, oh yeah, that is terrible, that's really bad. Gets them worked up. And then you just make an offer because they're hyped up now. So you're showing, I have the nice ethical solution to the problem.
Thank you.
Very, very important question. Can I, if I may, can I give you money to work with you? Is that a thing we can arrange?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was a question.
To follow up with that, you outrage the person on your email list and then you pitch the offer. Is that all done in one email?
It depends on your style of email marketing. I email every single day, so personally I would do it in the same email.
How often do you pitch?
Every single day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's not the big thing here is not every single email is, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. There's just a link to something I have to sell in every single email. The majority of the email might not be about the course, or it might not be about coaching, but it's just a story, or it's just a news article I've read, or something else. But the link's there, because you never know when people are ready. I think I was talking to Caro at lunch, and I said, I was on this guy's email list for 20 months before I bought anything. But every day he showed up, he offered to sell me something. So,
for publishing-related email lists, do you work from the same template? Like if you have a couple niches that you're in, and you have email lists built up, are you writing all these emails yourself, or you just have like different templates that you work from?
the best thing to do is be in one niche and to just immerse yourself in that niche, because then you'll literally never run out of ideas. Like, I don't have blank page syndrome when I open my autoresponder. I'm going to talk about something. Or if all else fails, just go on Yahoo News or BuzzFeed. There's interesting articles on there, and just relate that to whatever it is you're selling. It's very easy to make the transition. Once you start doing it a few times, and my advice would just be to send an email every day for a month, and it will get much easier.
If you're not on Ollie's email list, I'd get on there. They are entertaining. They're interesting. And you do give me an offer every single day. But your emails are the only ones I actually, I open and look at them, because they're all over the spectrum. It's not the same type of email every single day. Sometimes it's like a pop culture reference of something or whatever the case is, but I actually do get value from them. Anyone else? Yep.
Hey, what's up, man? So, as you can tell by my beautiful accent, English is not my first language. So, that's always been like an excuse or like a fear of mine that, public speaking or writing emails, because I think my English is not good enough. Have you ever taught somebody or seen somebody that English is not their first language and be successful at
Yeah, I've
writing?
seen many people whose first language isn't English. Like Juan is a prime example. All his books and all his marketing is in English, but he's a native Dutch speaker. Like, it's only a problem when someone tells you it's a problem. Like, until you start sending emails in English and you get an angry email back saying, your English sucks, it's not a problem. And even if you do, you just reply back to that email saying, hey, the unsubscribe link is at the bottom. It's fine. Like, that's their problem, that's not your problem.
Where are we at for time? So, are you done, or?
Yeah, I had one more thing I wanted to say. I said this at the end last year, but it's even more poignant this year because I've seen the transformation for people who were here last year and how far they've come in the last 12 months. So this event and self-publishing in general changed my life, and it can do the same for you. So thank you for listening.